Hey, how's it going, people? So ignore all the trash here. I haven't cleaned the car. Just been busy. And yes, the manual swap has been completed. I've put almost 200 miles in this car, so far it's been doing great. And one thing I've been fighting is a high idle for some reason. So this thing's really easy to drive from a start because you have a high idle, so you're pretty much right in the clutch the whole time. That, and this car has pretty obnoxious cold starts. It just has a gritty cap back with a resonator delete, I think. So but I wanted to get a couple more miles in this car. Yeah, just drive it around, I guess. That's my main goal. So if you've done a manual swap in your IS300 and your idle is ridiculously high, and you fixed it, let me know how. Because I wired the parking safety switch to the clutch switch. You have to have the clutch in to start the car. But after that, I don't know. So I don't know what gear the computer actually thinks it is. So maybe that's why it's doing that. Or another thing I'm thinking is that I'm gonna make up a number. I think I have like 10 check engine lights for the transmission. So maybe that's what's making it idle high. I still need to do some research on it. And yes, I did take out the check engine light, the little bulb for it because, well, yeah. So now the car's warmed up, I'm still idling at about 1200 RPM, so that's slightly better. And even though I purchased a whole car to do this manual swap, that car didn't have the shift boot, so I just have these rags here to keep the noise down, which I'm surprised how much just putting rags here helps a ton with the noise. Wow, this is cool. I've got a couple people asking me how much the swap costs, and I want to do a separate video on it because now I have actual proof of how much it costs to do a manual swap on one of these and give a little more insight on how it's a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. It's a good amount of work, but that's where I went to Mexico one time. But the clutch is not broken in yet. I have 190 miles on it, and most of it is highway miles. So I'm gonna give it a couple more miles before I do any clutch kicks or anything with this car. Unfortunately, I haven't really found any windy roads, so I can just take the car there. One thing that I've noticed is the car feels a lot floatier with the manual transmission. I don't know if I'm more alert because I'm shifting, you know, doing more things, but it feels floaty, so I might turn the dampening a couple notches in the car. It was fine when it was automatic because I could just have the seat down, because I could have the seat all the way back and just kind of cruise. But now I have the seat a little bit more up so I can reach all the way to the back of the clutch. Suspension feels a little too soft for a manual. I don't know why, but maybe because it's like, oh, it's manual, it needs to be sportier, you know, bouncier suspension, but it's a little too floaty. So I don't know if you can pick up the noise in here, but this transmission's really noisy. Every gear except fourth gear are pretty noisy. This wasn't here a couple months ago. I don't like that. That's the fastest I've gone in this car yet. I was shifting 35, 4,000 RPM. I do have the Rasco shifter, which for some reason relocates the shifter all the way to the left. So I'll put it in fifth gear so I can show you. So that's fifth gear, and it's still less than half that way. I don't necessarily like that. OCD tells me it should be centered, but it feels good. It came with the other car, so I don't have any other shifter really. But I do like how it feels. I don't know, maybe down the road I'll get another shifter, but it's not a big hurry. It's not a big hurry because the swap was done like 4 days ago, so I'm still trying to work out the kinks like the idle, and I'm gonna order a shift boot here shortly because this is really bright and distracting. All in due time. It's my only car and I manual swapped it. So I'm gonna come this way, away from people so they don't think I'm a weirdo recording them. I mean, if you see a guy with a GoPro on their head, you automatically think they're weird, right? The idle's pretty high and I don't like that. Not sure why. I guess I can reset the codes real quick. Let me go grab that. I don't think this is gonna do anything, but I'm just curious to see if I erase the codes and the idle drops. And the idle dropped a little bit. Again, I took out the bulb for my check engine light, but transmission temperature, pressure control solenoid, DE, torque converter, clutch, pressure control solenoid. But yeah, I have to do more research. If you know your stuff, let me know. Send me a message on the old Instagram. So I gotta get out of here because if somebody walks by, they're like, why is he recording his... So I just returned the jack stands. If you have some Pittsburgh jack stands from Harbor Freight, look into the recall stuff because you don't want them to fall down. But let's see what a warm start does to this car. Still over 1,000. Oh, it's going down. Okay, so now it's idling normal. Awesome. I still have the up and down buttons. I guess I can swap in the manual steering wheel from the gray car, but it's not in best of shape. The leather on it is falling apart, so I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll swap it. Oh, it's supposed to go that way. Oops. Oh no, everything's shifting. And yep, 202 miles, heck yeah. Even just putting my hand here makes it so much quieter, it's crazy. Wow, and it does look like it's gonna rain. It's so unfortunate that my clutch isn't broken in yet. Let's see what our idle's gonna be now. See if maybe more codes came up and I don't know what's gonna happen. Drop it in neutral. And my idle's back at mid thousands. I know people say that I should put in the manual ECU, and I have everything to do it. I mean, the ignition, I think there's two other things. You need ECU, ignition, some other things. I have everything from the other car, but the thing is, my keys won't match my door or trunk. I don't know, that seems like a lot of work just to, oh, eventually I'll go standalone and turbo, and all this will not matter. But for now, it's a daily driver. I mean, it runs and drives. It's pretty obnoxious with the cold starts at 2,000 RPM, but especially if you're trying to leave for work in the morning, that'd be terrible. Oh, you Lancer thing. I'm gonna thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me in this little adventure of putting more miles on the somebody that has done many swaps and knows why my idle's up that high. Yeah, let me know. I'm curious. I want to know some stuff. I want to fix that because that's really annoying. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.